Questions about efficiency. How many people you can get into a room, and it actually depends on the device. Not only the network, but also the CPU, and the CPU is very important. So that's something that within WebKit we are very focusing on. We can improve things, but anyway, if you have like 2 million people trying to send their stream to one device, the CPU will just fail. And it's up to the application, up to the SDK like TokBox to also be able to do that. So for instance, being able to expose CPU or this kind of metrics to applications so that the servers and the application can do actual decision would be something interesting. I don't know whether it will actually ship in WebKit or Safari anytime soon, or whether there will be activity there. But that's something that we could focus on. WebKit is an open source project, so if you have a feature that is really important for you, like Kitty GIF, and you really want to have a Kitty GIF in every web page, go to WebKit, hack it, and maybe somebody will agree with you. I'm not sure about the Kitty GIF. So you can either try to implement the feature, you can come to us, it's an open source community, so you can request features, you can request tweaks, the first thing to do is, oh, there's a bug there, there's something weird, there's something wrong. So send us that feedback. That's very important for the short term. Now, in the long term, people building SDKs, for instance, and actual users may have important needs, and hearing about it is something that is very valuable, so that we can prioritize and then actually implement in the most efficient and most secure and most private way the feature into WebKit. So maybe you will request something and you will provide something else. That happens, but it only happens through communication. So come to us, let's discuss, and let's improve things. I don't know if that answers the question.
I have a question.
Sure.
So what's the, now this is really WebKit's been working on this for a while. It's released. What's kind of the, next couple of months? I know there's some bugs that are being worked through right now, not unexpected. But what's kind of your expectation? I realize it's open source thing, different contributors.
Sure. So what's next? For Safari side, it's I don't know. It's to be discussed. It's to be also decided based on feedback. But what I would say is that usually in a development cycle, what happens is that you ship a feature that is working. It might not be perfect, but it's working and it's usable. And that's what we think it's being done there. And then you are trying to improve it. And efficiency, interoperability with all devices is extremely important with WebRTC. So WebRTC is not like just one thing from one platform. It's really about being able to talk to anything. And anything may be an Android phone, an iPhone, but it can also be a robot, a Polycom, or whatever. And there's a lot of things to be done. LibWebRTC is providing a lot of this interoperability, but probably it's not sufficient. So I would say that for sure there will be improvements in some of interoperability and efficiency. Efficiency can be of different aspects, but we can talk.
And what did we give them the URL? Where's the website? What's the web? Where's the bug reporting?
So so if you have a request for WebKit, then you go to bugs.webkit.org, and you file a bug. If it's something related to the UI, you dislike the UI, you dislike the permission, it's not WebKit. It's most on Safari side. So then you go to bugsreport@apple.com and you make a request.
Well, don't stand there. You got to have some questions here.
Yeah.
For us, of course.
So I think I heard that the data channel doesn't get activated unless the user gives their camera or microphone permission from get user media.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a decision that you guys would be willing to revisit, because there's a lot of applications that could benefit from just using the data channel to do peer-to-peer data transfers? For example, there's Peer5, which is a peer-to-peer CDN company.
Sure.
There's WebTorrent and a lot of other.
Yeah. So the question is data channel working without actually giving access to get user media? And the answer is yes, it's working.
Oh.
But it's not working in every case. So the thing is that if you're using like Chrome or Firefox, you will use WebRTC, then the IP address, your IP address that is geolocating you, will be given to the web application and will be given to the world. Maybe that's fine. And that's interesting in some scenarios when you are traversing NAT or things like that. In WebKit, we decided to favor a little bit of privacy so that by default, your IP address will not be given if you do not give something more than that. So existing scripts are actually using data channel just to steal your IP address and track you. This is something that is existing, and it's a usual practice in the web. That's not feasible with Safari. That's only feasible. We are only giving the private IP address if you are also giving your face, basically, your access to the camera. Because we think that if you are giving camera access, privacy is gone. So let's give the private IP address. The private IP address is useful for 100% connectivity without going through turn servers. But in many cases, without the private IP address, you might still be able to actually get a connection. So data channel will work in some cases if you do not give data channel get user media access, but in many cases it will still work.
Okay. So does that mean that if you have a turn server set up, you're saying that the only IP that's not given out is the local network IP?
Yeah,
local area
basically,
network.
yeah.
Okay, so that means the data channel can work in a lot of situations without user interaction?
It's not working in all cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about IPv6 addresses? You give them out?
So currently all host addresses should be filtered out, basically.
But you won't have a server flexible, so then you always
If you have a stun server, then you will gather reflexive addresses, and they will be given to the web application.
assuming you're sitting behind a net on IPv6, God forbid.
Yeah.
You mean like the stun server tells you like you're on a public IP address because you're
Yeah.
IPv6.
Yeah.
Then you will give it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're giving your IP address to a website, why not giving it to WebRTC? That's the trade-off we went. We are happy to discuss it. Maybe there are some scenarios where it's not very good. Maybe we can find a solution. Let's discuss it. But currently, that's what is shipped. And I think usually it's better to ship something that is working and has some limitations, and then try to relax a bit the limitations to address specific scenarios. That's the strategy that we are taking.
Is there simulcast support for the I know it's a hard question.
So currently, there's no simulcast support. If you're really keen about simulcast or scalability, this is important for efficiency. This is something you should file, bugsreport.apple.com, so that Apple people will know that it's important for you.
Another hard question is, what's the future like? Do you want to bring in VPA?
So yeah, so VP8 is a mandatory codec, and usually when a WebKit implements something, it's meant to be standard compliant. But also WebKit is exposing what a platform is supporting. And currently, iOS and Mac platform are mostly supporting H.264. So that's the current choice. In terms of development, cutting a feature is easier than qualifying a library that you don't really know about. So that's also one thing that is important. But yeah, we'll see what will happen. The interoperability of just using H.264 is important. It should be studied in real use cases. So please go to that website with as many devices as you can, Safari, OpenTalkTC.com, and let's see what's happening. Let's see what profile of H.264 is used. Let's see what the quality, is it good, is it bad? And based on various data, let's discuss. Thank you.